sir. Welcome to another episode of Have You Ever Wondered? And on this episode, we're going to discuss who is Wolverine's better sidekick. Is it Kitty Pryde or Jubilee? You guys get to decide. But before we get started, I want to introduce our champ from last week or last couple weeks, the man who's wearing the crown, Mr. Comics Kings. Brandon, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm ready to win again. I'm really
modest and humble.
I am modest. You know, I'm also very confident. I'm also very honest. I'm very correct in everything that I say. Wow, I sound like a terrible president we've had. But anyway, actually, I sound like all of them because I'm sure they've all said it once or twice. But I'm happy to be here. This is one of my favorite shows because we just get to talk, have fun, and we just get to drop knowledge about characters that we really appreciate. One thing that I really love about this show is different characters relate to us differently. So that's always great to hear and hear about everyone else's passion and always interact with the comment section, who should be dropping their knowledge too. Talking to all of y'all.
Damn right. And we have our contender, Mr. Danime, etc., or like Steve would say, etc. Whoa, what just happened there?
He's gonna get you guys like disqualified on YouTube, so he lost.
It was under 15 seconds. We're good. Danime, talk to me, man. How you doing?
Sorry about what? I'm actually Jubilee, and I'm doing fantastic.
All right, Jubes. But before we get started, let us do a quick shout out to our Team Nerd Herd moderators, Uncle Rudy, Something Wong, Danime, and Glenn 2K. Thank you guys so much. We love you all. And we really appreciate what you guys bring to the community, what you bring to the chat and the shows. And also thank you to our DJ Beats by Monster. Make sure to follow him. And let's do a quick round. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, look at that. We have Something Wong who's, I don't know who's he really going to support today. I mean, it could be Brandon. It could be Jubilee up there. And we got Frost. Greetings, Frost. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Oh, man. And look at that. We also have GT Key Comic. What is going on? And also we have, I think I saw, Sheena. What is going on, Sheena?
Oh, I love Terry Dodson.
Oh, yeah. And we also have Chili's Pool List. What is going on?
Yo, that's the homie right
there. And we got Deathhead. What is going on? Thank you for stopping by. And, oh, look at that. I believe we are all caught up. Oh, and look at this. Eric the Phoenix stopping by. Thank you so much. I know we're all busy here on the West Coast.
He locked himself in the closet.
He did. Hold on. And then we got Danime. I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, should be like getting ready, but he's in the chat. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. It's weird. It's crazy. All right. So here we go. Brandon, since you won the last match, you get to go first. And please give us the origin story of Kitty Pryde.
What's going on, y'all? So Kitty Pryde, she was born in Chicago, Illinois. She comes from a Jewish family, much like myself. I actually got this Jewish star in Israel when I went. But she has the ability to phase through solid objects. So whether that's like a bullet, whether that's a wall, a door, or even somebody else, right? Which we've seen in the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde miniseries. She's younger. She was like the youngest addition to the main team. When she came in, she was being recruited by the Hellfire Club. Emma Frost originally came to her. I can't tell you which issue. I think it was 129 and 129, 130. 129, right? Yeah, 129. I don't know. A speculator in the chat can let me know if I'm wrong, right or wrong, because I'm sure that they have thousands of dollars on it. But
that would be the one.
129. Okay, yeah. So, at that time, the Hellfire Club were also capturing our main X-Men team, And Kitty Pryde, she understood that what was happening was wrong, so she ended up freeing them. Because she was pretty young, Wolverine saw a lot of resilience in her, a lot of determination, and those are values that he holds very dear to his character. So he's kind of taken Kitty under his wing throughout that era of X-Men during the 80s. Until the 90s, when every other lesser being came into play, like Jubilee, of course, and and she's
Glasses are
evolved her.
off.
She's evolved her role ever since she's become when Wolverine started the Wolverine in the X-Men school after Xavier left the academy up to him. She's been Wolverine's number 2. She's been the leader of the Marauders recently in X-Men. She's actually run the school herself and been a part of many X-Men teams as a leader, not just a side character. We've seen her growth and development so much to the point where the only knock on her character you have to say is she's gone through as many ex-boyfriends as Taylor Swift, but that's a very overlooking factor because Taylor drops great music and Kitty drops great abilities on the battlefield, and she grows the school. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I can feel the emotion, Brandon. I mean, you're very excited about this character.
I mean, there aren't many Jewish people in comics, so whenever there is one, I always go to bat for them.
I can see that. I can feel the energy.
Sounds good.
All right, Danime, tell us a little bit about Jubilee.
I'm Jubilee. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, tell
How
me
did you get started?
my resume. Jubilee, co-created by Chris Claremont and Mark Silvestri in 1989. Her first appearance is the famous Ladies' Night issue. X-Men 1, the 90s cartoon. It's pretty much what that episode was based on. The whole mall scene where they meet up with Jubilee, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
That's it.
So after that, she just pretty much became very close with Wolverine. They went on a bunch of missions, and then her history from then on just spiraled out of control, man. I could sit here for hours and tell you about Jubilee, but we're gonna move on.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that, Jubilee. So Brandon, now lay it on us. Tell us why Kitty Pryde is the better sidekick for Wolverine.
Really, it comes down to she's the OG. At the end of the day, she is the OG. A lot of Jubilee's characteristics were very 90s based, kind of being like that ball rat, back alley teenager. We're kind of rebellious. But a lot of her character was established because they needed somebody to fill the role of Kitty Pryde as they aged her up. Okay, Kitty has always been there for Wolverine. She's always been his number 2. Wolverine came back to Chicago because she was having issues with her parents, then took her to Japan under his wing, right? And even though there was a lot of emotions in that book, right? He was really hard on Kitty, but it was for the betterment of her. You know, we've seen her being such a dynamic leader, all the lessons she's learned from Wolverine, even venturing out on her own. She was kind of like that character they didn't know what to do with a lot of times, but that's a good thing because while she was with the New Mutants, she was kind of older than them at that time, right? So she was a little older than Daniel Moonstar when she came in. She was kind of in that same retrospect is magic, where at the time they didn't really know what to do with her, so she was the best of both worlds. She was also with the main X-Men team, learning a lot. She was also with the New Mutants, again, getting that experience as well, kind of building up her resume. Now we've seen her being one of the more dynamic characters. One of the she's very concise, right? She even in the ongoing series, as she is the leader of the Marauders, right? She has that ability to make those decisions for the betterment of Krakoa, the betterment of her team, and she's already with people who have had more experience, being Iceman, even though they don't know what to do with him since Cena Grace left. Bishop, who we all know is older and is a time traveler, so she has that experience. Emma Frost trusts her, right? Even she doesn't get crossed, right? Sebastian Shaw kills her. She comes back with a vengeance, and she knows how to take care of that situation and not acting like a little saucy teenager. I think that her dynamic that we've seen, that we've grown up with, that we've aged with, has been really, truly something special, to where we're able to relate to her emotions, her struggle, but also see how far that she has come.
That's it?
That's my spiel. Is that enough, or am I supposed to keep going? I can keep going, but I
No, please. No. We only have like 30 minutes. That's okay. Thank you. All right.
Danime was a little concise, so I was like, you know what? I should be too.
I know. I appreciate that. And so does Jubilee over there. Jubilee, lay it on us. Why are you the better sidekick?
Well, I can't really defend myself since I'm a minor, so I actually had to get a lawyer. Mm-hmm.
Who's your lawyer? Are you switching your costumes?
Shut up, Brandon.
What the fuck is he doing? Oh no!
Man. He's got the tie. Oh.
Shoot.
Oh, damn. Wow. This is totally unexpected.
What the fuck? Damn it.
What is happening here?
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce myself. I am the mutant advocate, Matt Moorcock. I'm here to defend my client, Jubilee. Your Honor, my client is the victim. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to take you back to 1984, the 6-part miniseries with the so-called team-up. Your Honor, will you please show Exhibit A, Issue 1? Nope. That's the evidence we have against Brandon. We'll show that later.
Wait, y'all prepped like that behind my back? Yo, I didn't get any of this.
That's not the one. The Kitty There we go.
What the fuck? I mean, what the fudge?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is supposedly the monumental team-up of all times. However, little do you know that Wolverine isn't even in this issue, but shows up at the end, picking up Kitty's phone call because little Kitty Pryde got herself in trouble after a breakup. That's right. Uncanny X-Men 189, Kitty Pryde, Schmitty after a breakup with Colossus, decides to go spend time with Dad.
He's a good-looking dude. I would be pretty butthurt if he denied me.
Niet, little girl is no good. I digress. So after a little breakup with Colossus, little kitty girl decides to follow Daddy all the way to Japan and gets herself caught up with the Yakuza. So what does Kitty Pryde do? She phones Wolverine, much like Jubilee does when she goes to Russia and fights Omega Red with Colossus. Now, look at that. There's Wolverine at the very end of the book. And not only that, he shows up in the second book, but at the end. I have the utmost respect for Kitty Pryde, but everything thus far does not point to her being the better team-up. Let's keep the evidence rolling, Your Honor, please. Oh, no, it's...
That looked like a bowl. I don't think you're allowed to show that on the air.
We have a lot of incriminating evidence against you, Brandon. Just pick any picture. We'll take it from there. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Jubilee is not just the young sprite we all knew her to be. She grows up to be a monumental mutant from Nation X to Excalibur.
She did nothing in that book.
Actually, in issue 3, she goes full Jubilee to protect her son, which is also like a little dragon, kind of like Kitty Pryde. Now, what we're going to do right here, we're going to break down her power levels. Watch this. Kitty Pryde. What can Kitty do? Kitty can phase. Right on. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what can Jubilee do? Energy displacement blasts. Telekinetic energy detonated at a subatomic level, ladies and gentlemen. That means she can make little energy explode inside your brain.
All that means is she's most useful and only useful during the 4th of July, which you don't celebrate, so she's useless to you.
That is completely irrelevant. Basically.
No, it's not.
She can do anything from a little spark to a huge effing explosion. The way they explain it is in the Generation X comics from issue 24 to like 34. Emma Frost goes into great detail about her raw, untapped power and all that stuff. Now, as for their fighting abilities, Wolverine taught both of them.
All right.
Wolverine taught both of them to fight. He taught one how to use a sword. Ooh, I don't know why you would use a sword when you have phasing abilities. But in Wolverine issue 95, he's running the camp, training Gen X to fight. And they explain why Jubilee is so tough. So she can hold her own with her powers.
You make some great points, but you're just wrong. And I'm pulling a Charles Barkley. That is like quoted from the CEO of being Charles Barkley. But the thing is, while Kitty Pryde is standing at the top level of her profession, which is being on the Marauder and bringing mutants back to Krakoa that are outlawed and creating a great environment for the Morlocks in Madripoor, Jubilee is sitting in the backstage of Excalibur. So where does your character reside in the story when in Ten of Swords? And even in Excalibur, she was the least important character in the book. You mentioned issue 3, right? You mentioned issue, and yes, I appear in pro se because I don't need different personas. I am just my own judge, jury, and executioner. But Jubilee did nothing after issue 3. The only other thing in Excalibur that was worth noting was Richter was being a saucy little teenager because Apocalypse left, and it became the Betsy Braddock and Saturnine big debacle, and Jubilee took it backstage because she was still butthurt because her son got rained down on, and she literally 100%. Did nothing but retreat.
100%, but that doesn't make her the better sidekick.
What did she do for the team?
That is true.
How is she the better
hold on. That is true. That is true. It doesn't make her the better sidekick.
Okay, then how is she the better sidekick when she is when she is the most irrelevant person in her own team? How do I know this? I'm friends with the artist of that book. I'm actually really close with him, and we speak on a daily basis.
No, that's your own personal opinion. If you look at all the media and all the covers and everything, Jubilee dominates so many of the covers.
Wait, so now we're basing it on covers. So now we're basing it on covers.
The cartoon.
So by that, I can say Punchline is the most important character in the DC universe because her tits are out on every single cover.
Thank you, Brandon.
No, we're not talking about Punchline. We're talking about who's Wolverine's better sidekick.
Yeah, so how is being on the covers relevant to your point?
What?
You said she dominates the covers, on the covers of the book.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the 90s, she's on like every fucking cover with a Wolverine.
So how does that determine that she's the better sidekick just because she was
absolutely
on the
Absolutely she is. They've teamed up so many times. They have an irrevocable history and forged together.
And how is that any different from Wolverine and Kitty's, which took place in the 80s, which was a much more generational leap in the comic book industry than in the 90s? When the 90s was when comic books basically went to hell.
Together. And like I said, Wolverine's only in there for like 4 minutes.
He is not in there for 4 minutes. If you've read issues 1 through 6, they actually go to Japan, which Wolverine needed her help in, while still training her to use a sword.
The whole thing. She calls him, and he shows up in Japan. Coincidentally, her dad is tied up with some of his old enemies. You know, that's why it's the first appearance of Oregon or whatever. That's the huge spec on that book, but not in costume.
I would like the spotlight once he is done speaking bullshit.
Well, let's Mr. Matt Moorcock finish his assessment first, and then you may retort, Brandon.
Okay.
No, the defense rests. I pressed my case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Moorcock. Brandon.
You know what you remind me of? Have you ever seen My Cousin Vinny?
Of course I have, man.
You remind me of the lawyer Tipton. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. That's what you remind me of. Anyway, I digress. So, what was really interesting about the Wolverine and Kitty miniseries is that allowed Jubilee's character to be relevant, right? If you look at, oh, hi, John. John knows what I'm talking about. John, please drop that beautiful John Comics with Kids knowledge that we talk about in the DMs. Feel free. But what was really awesome about this series is not only was it better than all the other team-ups that Jubilee and Wolverine have ever had, but it set the precedent for Wolverine to have other sidekicks as they age Kitty Pryde, for her to be a leader and more dynamic character in other books. Because Kitty has taken on way more proteges than Jubilee has, which means that Jubilee really hasn't grown. So what lessons has she used from Wolverine's experience to further herself? That's the biggest question, right? She was very dynamic in the animated series. She's done a lot for diversity in comics. But what we're talking about, who has been the better sidekick? A lot of being the sidekick is using the lessons learned. I'm going to compare Kitty Pryde to Dick Grayson, right? In the sense that after Dick Grayson was done, when she grew out of his shell of being under Batman's wing, he has used that to mentor so many other characters in the DC universe, right? So has Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde has taken those lessons that Wolverine has taught her in this miniseries and throughout their history in Uncanny, throughout her history in New Mutants, to further the school, to teach a bunch, way more. She's led the school. She's a much better leader. She has gained those qualities from Wolverine. The series that you were referring to that Wolverine barely appeared in, they went to Japan. Yes, her family was in. She is a very toxic family, by the way. So for Wolverine to see that, who never had a family, he understands that sometimes your family is not blood related.
If I'm talking about this, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about this right now. I have it right open.
Okay.
Let me
so it
finish
sounds like we're talking about two different things, but this is the issue right here. So I'm not sure.
I'm bringing it back to that. Okay. Well, you just made me lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
Wolverine, in this series, right? Kitty Pryde has come from a very toxic family. We're learning about her background. She doesn't necessarily like her family, right? The key thing that we learned in the beginning was she had to go back, but she also wants to get out of that toxic environment, correct? Wolverine understands better than anyone else is your family is not always blood related. So he sees that in Kitty, drags her out of a toxic situation, and takes her under his wing, right? In Japan, yes, he was using a sword. That's how they fought. Her phasing abilities with a sword can be pretty deadly, which we learned. Okay? Their chemistry is phenomenal. And Wolverine moving on to another protege in Jubilee really just fit the 90s time period. And I hate to break it to you. Yeah, Jubilee's a cool character, right? Like I said, she's very worth it on 4th of July. But when it comes to who is the better sidekick, who has grown since their times as a sidekick? Jubilee or Kitty Pryde? Which one has gone on to bigger and better things?
I don't know, man. Check it. Even though their first appearances are 9 years and 115 issues apart, Jubilee caught up like effing crazy, okay? When Kitty Pryde first appeared, Wolverine wasn't even in the picture. Storm first mentored her. She called her Sprite. Because why? Because Xavier actually named her Ariel at first. So after bonding with fucking Storm and all that shit, she just basically leached onto like every other guy. She was so easily like impressionable. She was like 13, man.
Okay. Like, are we talking about relationships now?
No. I'm not talking about relationships at all. I'm just saying that Storm was her first mentor. Wolverine couldn't even stand her. Even in the episode, The Pride of the X-Men, she just shows up a broken teenager. It's terrible.
So did Jubilee in the X-Men animated series.
Exactly.
They almost have like the same origin. If you take out the Hellfire Club, they have the same origin.
Similar. So to actually debate them, it's quite futile. But in the end, Jubilee will always be Wolverine's top sidekick, man. Especially to anybody that grew up in like the late 80s and 90s.
Actually, I am going to throw a curveball in here. If we are going to argue who is the better sidekick, it's Laura Kitty. For the longest time. I'm going to argue that. If you really want
wait.
But if we're simply talking about
Wait. Kitty Pryde. Jubilee.
It's Kitty Pryde. It's Kitty Pryde, hands down.
Wait, Brandon, what did you say?
Laura
What?
Kinney.
Oh,
X23. Now I would say X23 would be like during this time, right? I see
don't know
Brandon's
anything about
point. I see where he's going. He's saying that depending on the year, the decade, we've seen Wolverine kind of have multiple sidekicks based on the generation that's there. So we had Kitty Pryde, then we had Jubilee, and currently we have X23 or Laura Kinney.
Well, technically, Wolverine doesn't have a sidekick.
I
would say Kid Omega is more of his sidekick nowadays. But that's even a stretch. I would say he doesn't really have one right now, but
well, see, you know what, man? That's actually a really good argument too, man. It's like every era he had a fucking sidekick and all that shit too. That's what was really fun about this. It was going back and looking at all the dynamics and seeing how they're both similar. You know, they're both very compatible. One was 13, one was 15. They were both Wolverine's proteges. They both can fight, you know.
I think Wolverine had more expectations. Okay, I'm going to throw this back to the Batman and Robin comparison.
Rudy.
Not.
Wolverine's been around, man. I swear to God.
I'm gonna throw this back to like the Batman and Robin thing, because like you can kind of argue that they both lived like multiple lives in a sense, just because of their age varies throughout history. But after Dick Grayson, right? Batman kind of realized what do I have to do differently for Jason Todd? What do I have to do differently for Tim Drake? What do I do differently for Damian Wayne, who is a little shit that no one likes, but now really likes, right? Which I could say that is basically that's basically what Kitty Pryde was. She was that little shit that no one liked. She ended up saving the team. Wolverine saw a whole lot of potential in her.
But you can't bring DC into this,
right? I'm not putting DC. I'm using it as a comparison. I'm using it as a comparison because no one here likes DC and DC sucks. We all know this. But
no, DC doesn't suck. Take that back. Copy hates you right now.
Oh, Copy and I have had this debate.
I know.
Copy and I have severely had it. Yeah, Dick is the best. No, that is not sexual in nature. No. But yes, Dick Grayson is the best.
Yeah, Dick is best.
Exactly. You know what I mean. Thank you, Sheena. But
yes, he does. Yes,
Wolverine has used different teaching techniques on each of his proteges, which have symbolized different aspects of Wolverine's lives in those mentorships, right? With Kitty, he took a more stern approach. Like, he was less touchy-feely with her, which has allowed her, like, he left her stranded in the snowstorm, right? Because he wanted her, he gave her all the tools to work with, to be an elite character, to go out on her own. Right? He gave her so much life experience to where that it was ultimately her decision, and he gave her the courage. He was like her biggest inspiration, because at the end of the day, Wolverine was the one who went to bat for her when not a whole lot of other X-Men did, because Wolverine saw something there, because not a lot of people liked Kitty Pryde at the time. She was different, right? She was a very empathetic person. She never really knew where she fit in, even in the school. They didn't even know where to place her. Wolverine kind of was in that same position too.
It's just like Curse of the Mutants when Jubilee became super unpopular because she was fucking a ruthless vampire. She was basically Morbius with Jubilee's powers. And Wolverine, once again, went to bat for her. He even got his ass kicked by her, you know? So, like, honestly, man, we're arguing about the same person. You like Kitty, I like Jubilee.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I think that's settled then.
Wait, did we just end it in a draw?
It certainly sounds like it.
Did we just end this in a draw?
It certainly sounds like it. I think you guys both agree that your character's the best. I don't think anybody swayed each other, and even in the chat's kind of in the middle. But they all agree with John's comment that Laura Kinney is the better.
I said that.
I don't even know enough. The only thing I've seen is like the Logan movie. I don't know enough new shit like that, you know. So
I just
Excalibur is
probably question. I'm impartial, John. I just need to make sure that debate stays on point. And
yeah, basically he means that we're not like jumping through green screens to hit each other.
That's right, because it
that's happened before. on Team Nerd Herd. I mean, you've never seen Brother Rudy Throwdown?
That's right.
I mean, this is why Alonzo's here. Like, we gotta watch out for Brother Rudy. I mean, I love him, but that guy, he gets really aggressive.
Sometimes
I
I
love
do.
him.
I do.
Yeah,
Just
Brother
see me on the
Rudy
craps
went
table,
hard
damn
like
it.
in the 4th Rocky movie.
I would break you.
Oh, and Raging really Gambit. Maybe.
No!
Oh,
Choose a winner.
maybe next time. Maybe next time, sir.
How about we let the chat decide?
So you know what, chat? You
How
guys
about
get to
chat
decide who is a better sidekick based on what Brandon and what Danime said during this conversation. Who do you think won this argument here?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is who's utilized their lessons from Wolverine more to grow in the hierarchy of the X-Men, to grow as a leader, to be more impactful in the school.
Oh, here we go again.
Let's see, chat. Come on, chat.
Or Kitty
I'm a
Pryde.
kid. You can be one too. You can be one too. All you need to do is vote for Kitty. Remember, I appeared in Pro Se. Jubilee had a representation from Mr. Moorcock, which is very sexual and should not be allowed. In
yes,
this
and we
time.
do have some evidence here. Again, just want to let you guys know.
That looked like something in the middle between two balls, and I don't want to.
Okay, Frost picked Jubilee. Wong picked Jubilee.
Sheena says rematch. Rematch is also an option, guys. I just want to point that out.
And maybe we can pick a different topic.
Man,
fine gentlemen.
I don't want to argue about Teenage Mutant girls all night. I got shit to do.
Yeah, I feel like
I love how Brandon rolls. Like, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know what? And just so you guys know, Brandon just kind of dropped some knowledge and told us that he's only been collecting for 7 years. 7 years, and he is full of all of this knowledge. That's fantastic.
Yeah, knowledge.
And then Danime has like a comic book shop in his basement. I mean, how cool is that?
Oh yeah, Danime literally we just got a room tour. It was just like. By the way, this is like one of the first comic book debates I've lost.
Look at that.
Or like drawed.
Oh man, the audience still hasn't decided. I mean, right now it's just it's been 2 votes for Jubilee. I mean, Sheena,
Actually,
you're out there. What do you think, Rudy?
Brandon, have you ever watched the X-Men anime?
JD.
Yeah. We play it all the time at work. I play it like all the time at work.
Yeah. I like what they did. They don't have Jubilee or Kitty Pryde, but they have that other girl who's kind of like Kitty Pryde, but she actually turns into Armor.
Yeah. Armor. We could have argued Armor. I was like, what the?
Yeah. But her first appearance in Astonishing X-Men, and then 2 issues later, that's when fucking Kitty Pryde has sex and phases through the floor.
Yeah, not a good time for her character.
That's when Josh Whedon made her all like slutty and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, he made everyone slutty. He made like his first page was Cyclops and Emma Frost waking up from sex. I mean, come on.
Ha! Emma Frost was with fucking Submariner in the Avengers versus X-Men.
So all right, guys.
No, but the worst She-Hulk and Juggernaut. Oh my god, I feel so bad for whoever was on like the 3rd floor of that hotel because that's all you heard was just
even her vagina has abs. Like,
oh god. Okay, guys. All right, stop. Save this conversation for a different show.
I think that's what we should talk about. Worst relationships in X-Men comics.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Let's go on Spine Ticks and do that.
No, we don't go on Spine Ticks.
All right, guys. So, Brandon, tell us where our chat. Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me over on YouTube, Comics Kings. You can find me over on Instagram, Comics Kings. I believe everyone here is subbed up. We just dropped our Naomi review for season 1 because season 2 is coming out and the CW show is ending. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with it. But yeah, that's what's coming up. Creators Corner is what everyone really, really cares about. We got Matt Fraction and Terry Dodson in the pipeline. We're scheduled for March 6th, day before my 21st birthday.
Woo!
21st birthday, yeah.
When's your birthday next month?
March 7th.
Birthday, Brandon.
Oh, and that's going to be on a weekly wrap-up.
Yeah.
Weekly wrap-up is every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I know that's like 30 minutes before your guys' anime time slot. So I know you guys like to catch out on the replay, which is also we format the show for the replay as well. Just make sure you guys leave a comment of what your pick of the week is. That's where we just talk about weekly comic books, and we sometimes have a creator on. Other than that, Chris on Infinite Ranch drops Wednesday. I am coming out with a new show tomorrow, and it's basically going to be almost like a comic book reading guide, or like just like short little topics in comics. I'm dropping a video called Into the Donnieverse, where I'm basically summing up how Donnie Cates' stories have intertwined with each other, what you can keep, what you can skip, right? And I think that's going to be a really helpful video for everyone who's late to Donnie's game or just wants to recap it and relive some of your favorite Donnie stories. So I'm excited for that. I hope that video does well. It's called Into the Donnieverse because that's basically what he's doing. So keeping up with that, I like to try to create these reading guides for newer readers and just so people who do want to go back and can have that list as well and go back. So I appreciate that. I'm excited for that video to be out in a while tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it, Brandon. You always have some great stuff that you put out. I love your interviews with all of the creators. I mean, you can tell how much, again, you're a young buck and you know your shit. And when you talk to these creators, it's amazing. It's refreshing. You bring all of this energy and enthusiasm, and you can tell that everybody that's on your show, they love it. They love to be there, you know, and it's great seeing them say, oh, you know what? I'd love to come back. I mean, it's such a testament to who you are. It's great. So everybody, please.
Thank you, brother.
Sub Brandon up. I mean, great shows that he has. And I mean, again, he's putting out some dope ass content. And speaking of content, Danime, do you want to talk to us about Geek Factor? That's a great show that you guys put out, that the moderators put out. I want more. I mean, what's the latest?
We're actually currently figuring all that out right now. As you know, we're all coming out of a pandemic. Shit's crazy right now. We're all getting back on our feet. Life's thrown a lot at us. So that said, we're just getting the teams together, and it's in the preliminary stages, and it will happen.
Yeah, come on, guys. Season 2. Hurry it up. Don't do it like Flash Season 6 did and like tease the season, drop 2 trailers in like 2 years and then give us a shitty season. At least like bring it back. I know you guys will bring it back like you know, better than the Star Wars trilogy did.
Ugh. Now we're gonna give you 3 solid seasons, and then we might change it up or something. You know, we like to keep it fresh.
You like that last Star Wars, the Clone Wars season, where like it was just awesome? Do that, yeah. I think y'all should.
But I like the animated Clone Wars, the original one on friggin' Teletoon. But
yo, General Grievous looked like total badass in that. That was so much fun.
Buddy, the fight with Anakin and Cy Ventress, bro, it was so intense in the rain. He picks up the fucking red lightsaber.
All right, guys. And then also, too, in case you guys don't know, we are switching channels. We are moving channels over. So starting March 1st. So March 1st, we're going to have all of our new content over this channel. So make sure you sub and hit those notification bells because some new content's coming up.
Oh, yeah. We need to talk about Dazzler.
Yep. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. All right, guys. With that being said, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Matt, Moorcock, Jubilee, Danime.
I don't even know what I am anymore.
Okay, Jamie Madrox.
Thank you guys for coming on the show. Love having you. I can't wait to do this again. And for the rest of the chat, you guys have a great Friday. And don't forget to support Moonlit. She's going to be on a show that's coming up at 8. It is called... what is it called again? Oh, that's right. It is called...
If I'm being honest.
What?
I didn't even know she was on tonight, if I'm being honest.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be on tonight. And and I'll put the link in the chat. It's going to be on The Hunt at 11
Oh, with Tony Sanders. Oh, okay.
The Tony Sanders show. I'm going to put that on the chat just to make sure
what's going on
you guys
tonight?
go support Michelle. And, well, with that being said, again, guys, have a good night. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And if you want to do it right, collect what you like.
And have Chick-fil-A sauce.
There you go.
Thank you.